Sometimes the days get so long, so I'll just close my eyes. Far away is where I'll be. So if you need to find me, I'll be gone on my own. I can't tell you why, it just feels like sometimes I feel so young. Sometimes I feel so but if I close my eyes, I'll feel you standing here with me, and I'll be gone on my own. I can't tell you why, it just feels like
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? We are doing great out here tonight. We, oh, he needs to come over here.
Our camera
So
is-
tonight we're on YouTube. We're
look
gonna
at that.
check this
Absolutely.
out. Pardon my look. I am tired, but Fred, I did have red on today, just so you know. So YouTube's
I
a
got
little,
purple on me. It's recovery month, and I figured I would wear purple. I
and
thought it would be fitting.
yes, and I have no makeup. Sorry, I have no makeup on. I have a cold sore, and I had to get out of my red because I was soaked from
It's our
sweat.
producer.
And here's our
The
producer.
magic behind everything. The magic
So-
behind the show.
I'm really hoping that my people from Facebook Live can find me over here. You still can comment if you see it on your side. I don't know where it is, so
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. We could have our music back again and everything else.
Just click the link and hit live chat, and then you'll be able to see it pop up. You can also watch it on the TV
yes,
and chat via the phone.
you can open up the link and hit
Live chat.
live chat, and you can be on the show through the comments. Hopefully you'll see comments and be able to
Hopefully we don't
talk.
have any bugs. This is a new format for us.
Yes, this is new tonight, so I'm hoping everybody finds us. I did send out the link, and I hope everybody does find that. Did you put that on the page? Richard put it on the page, so please click that. Well, not that you would know, because we're not there. We're here.
Can't tell how many viewers we have on.
We have 12 views. We have 3 concurrent viewers. We have somebody calling in.
Both lines are ringing.
Fred wants to know how we chat.
Hello, hello.
Okay, hello, caller.
It's your mother.
Oh, hi, Mother.
Hi.
Can you-
Guess what? You guys look good at 65 inches.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
we
me
got
look
it on our
fat, does it,
TV.
Mom?
Can you see my big old cankerous cold sore? It's horrible.
Wow.
Gigantic.
No, it
That's
hasn't
huge.
shown up at 65 inches.
Okay, well, at least you got on and you found us. Hopefully,
Yes. Yeah.
hopefully Fred can figure out how to chat. I don't know, Fred. I don't know. I can't tell you on this side. So Richard is going to try and come up with something. So I'm hoping.
I hit on the link, Fred, on
Geez, you want me to fax it over to you?
the thing that went out on Messenger. I just clicked on that link that went out on Messenger instead of going on YouTube and putting in Living Hopeful. It's not the link. It shows you the show, but I don't know.
It's new, so
if
we're
Lori
learning.
sent out that message to
Okay,
everybody.
it looks good so far.
Good. Can
Hey,
you see
if-
can you see a place to chat?
I don't see a place to chat.
Oh, only on the phone can you chat. So
Oh,
there you
okay,
go.
so
But
far.
we do have a call-in line, so you feel free to call
That
in.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instructions up on the
Hey,
Facebook
by the way, if Barbara calls in, tell her I said hi.
Okay, I will.
Okay. And I hope she's still doing good.
I hope so too.
Awesome. That for those of you, that's my
Okay.
favorite mother-in-law out there, gang. In case you
Yes,
remember.
that's California.
all the way from Cali.
California,
Yes.
gal. Okay, love you.
Love you.
Good luck.
Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Well, our
Okay.
call-in line works. That's awesome.
That's a good sign.
Yes. Hopefully Larry can find us. Hopefully, I guess Fred found us. That's the one thing I can't see. So if you are here, you joined us, I can see comments, I guess. We have Kathy in here with us. So please feel free to say hi, hello, how are you?
Put the instructions up on the Facebook on how to chat.
Okay, and Rich put up how to chat on the Facebook page. So go to Facebook, figure it out, and come back on over here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
yes,
goodness. All
it's
this
gonna-
technology.
It's going to be a little getting used to, but Facebook is just really pissing me off. So
But next we'll be coming over ham radio, so everybody's got to go get a ham radio now.
Yeah.
We're going to be a pirate station.
yeah, so if you are here and you are watching us, please just throw in, if you have comments, throw in a comment saying, hi, I'm here, give me a call, whatever.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would, please. Yes, it'll be much easier for you to find when we go live. You'll get a notification, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Well, is that what it looks like
The
on the
instructions.
studio?
So,
Instructions. Press the link. Hit the live
yeah, just pop up and then hit live chat, and then we should come up.
This is what comes up on Facebook right here?
So, there you go. Pull it up on YouTube on the link that I sent you and hit live chat. Once you get there, please hit subscribe so that we can be found out there. And
Text mom that picture sheet. Text it.
yeah, so anyway, so happy Friday. We're getting the yard ready for Wednesday's huge event. We have a major event coming. Jackson will be 5. So we're getting the yard ready and gonna decorate for. We're having a Cinderella party with one female friend. The rest are boys. So they will have crowns, but the girls...
Like King Charles. King Charles.
Yeah, so we will
The
have
third.
some Prince Charmings as well as 2 Cinderellas at least. And just looking forward to it. She's so excited. She cannot wait. Unfortunately, not we all, the whole house is sick except for me so far. So fingers crossed, I will stay well. I'm going to just sleep outside. I do not want to get this.
Pop-up camper right over there.
Yeah, I'll sleep in the pop-up. I just want to say happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing okay. Please, I don't know, can they share this out? Share it out if you will. That would be awesome. So this is a new format. It's a new everything for us here. So hopefully it works better than Facebook. And hopefully we'll be able to keep the music going because
Facebook's just got too many rules and
Yeah.
they just want to spank you for everything.
Yes.
You think it's made up just going on Facebook and getting put in jail and you can't have music, you can't have this, and oh my gosh, they're like communists. It's a communist format.
yes. So I will keep posting that we are now over on YouTube so that everybody on my page knows to go to YouTube and not to Facebook Live.
How many people we got on there right now?
We have 6 concurrent viewers, 21 views. I don't even know what that means, but okay.
They're coming on.
No,
Finding us
they're finding
slowly but
us
surely.
slowly but surely. They're joining in. If you have your phone, you can comment. Feel free to throw it up into the comments, and I'll watch them. But just for the new people, because there may be new people here, we are a recovery chat, and that means anybody that is involved at any aspect of substance use disorder, whether you are in recovery, whether you have somebody that you love that is in treatment, that is still active, that is in recovery, or even if you are still active. This is a safe place for you to come, talk, and just, see what's happening out there. This is a new format, so we are getting used to this. We will not be discussing any politics or religion. I just want to keep it here to support those that are struggling. If anybody does come in and they are less than kind or helpful, I'm hoping Rich will know how to boot them off. And because I want everybody to have a safe place to come and talk, ask questions once we figure out how to ask questions. And just to let you know that if you call in at 267-737-8031, if you have any questions, concerns, or would like suggestions, feel free to please pop in, and we'll be happy to.
Click on that link.
We will be
the
happy
Facebook
to
page.
answer anything that you are struggling with. But
Well, but
just dealing with trying to get help for people today is so tough. It's so tough. The system just is really a horrible place. That is, you try so hard. You reach out and you try so hard, and then the system just puts those blockers up. And as far as trying to get somebody into treatment, I can only tell you that it's important that you let your loved ones know that they must
even
make
get a
the
live
phone
chat.
call.
Come on.
You know, a lot of parents, spouses, they call to see how they can help their loved one and then find out that, you know, they're going to have to talk to your loved
I know
one.
it's
So
coming on your phone, so I know-
let's just start it out doing it the right way. Just having them call, having them assess, and then,
Okay.
you know, getting them in. So that is, you know, one of my tips. We have to make sure that when we are going through the process and they're ready for help, we understand that unfortunately the system, again, it's you know, 8 to 4:30 because you're dealing with the insurance companies that sometimes put up that wall because our loved one is ready at 6 p.m. and the insurance companies aren't there. So that can be a very long process. So
No, that's wrong.
keeping that in mind as well, because it is so frustrating when you have somebody that is ready for recovery
For that link.
and they're ready on a holiday, on a Sunday, on a Saturday. It's so hard. It takes so long.
Well, there must be a
So,
different link.
Seemed like
So,
See what it did?
you know, that's, you know, that is one of the issues that we're facing when we try to get somebody into recovery. And trying to help somebody get a recovery house, you know, every recovery house is run differently. Like, you don't have set rules. I mean, they're supposed to. And if they are in the RHA Recovery House Association, then they are there and they do run by the rules and regulations, whatever. They have, it's more regulated than it is when there's not. So when you're facing your loved one going into a recovery house, we have to remember that our loved ones, you know, are feeling awkward. They're feeling awkward when they go into rehab. They get through rehab and they're feeling really good, and now they go to a recovery house. They're going into a recovery house. It's not like an apartment of their own. They're sharing rooms. There can be a lot of different people in there, different age groups, different everything. So, you know, we also have to remember that our loved ones are adults for the most part. They are adults. They're 21 and above. So they need to speak up. They need to ask questions. They need to get answers. I know I've been in a couple houses and they have like chores charts set up, and you know, when you leave, you sign in, you sign out, and there is a blackout when you get in. I think most of them are 2 weeks, and during those 2 weeks, you know, it's important that they're looking for work if they do not have a job. Some people have a job, and I'm not sure how that works, but for the first 2 weeks, they can't leave the facility, the house, without somebody from the house. And that's just from my understanding. I would like to get into a couple houses and see how things run. So if anybody out there runs a house, I'm going to be talking to you, Mick. I would love to get more information so that I can give you more information. We did have Mickey from Emily House here on the show one night, and I'm not sure which episode it was, but I can pop that up if anybody is interested. Let me know, and I can pop it up so that people can see that show and hear about the recovery houses. But we have to be mindful that our loved ones, if they're 21 and up, they need to be speaking up. They need to be vocal. They need to advocate for themselves when they're in a recovery house. Not every person that goes into a recovery house is there because they want to be there. Sometimes they're there because the courts said they had to be there, or their family said, we can't help you anymore. We need to do something different. You're gonna need to step forward and change it up, do something different. That's the nothing changes if nothing changes. So maybe it is a recovery house, and you're going in that you don't know what is going on in a recovery house. You don't know the people, especially if it's your first time. So, my suggestion is speak up, be vocal. Now, the house owners usually do not live at the house, but it is run by house managers, and that is somebody that is in recovery. So, depending how long they have in recovery. It could be a short period of time, the longest one in the house, or it could be somebody that has some time under their belt. Sometimes you leave the recovery house and you go to sober living, which is like a step up. So you may not have more people in your room. You may get your own room, or you may just have 2 people in a room. So that's important. And you usually step up after a decent amount of time in the recovery house. But the recovery houses are there to help you move forward in your recovery, to keep you on track with meetings, help you, get through your steps. And you may find a sponsor in the recovery house. You may find a sponsor elsewhere. So, these are the things that we need to help our loved ones understand. But it's also important that, we let our loved ones know that, we would like to be part of their recovery. And that does not mean running their recovery. That just means, knowing where they're at in their recovery. Are they, doing well? Talking to your counselor, keeping abreast on what's going on. And if your loved one is just, getting into the rehab and getting the treatment that they need, and you decide that, maybe it is a good idea if they don't come back home for a little bit. And maybe possibly just go straight to a recovery house, which is probably the best option for somebody that is coming out of rehab, is changing it up, changing the script, doing the recovery house. That does not mean that they're going to stay clean and sober. That's not what that means. It's just that they're going to be in an environment that people can see when they're struggling and help them. And if it's a good recovery house, that's what will be happening. And there's not a lot of good houses out there, too. So we have to, do our homework. And if you get to that recovery house and you don't like it, then find the list of RHAs and start your calling, because that's so important that you are proactive in where you want to be. If your loved one sets up that recovery house and you do not like that recovery house, oh, I can't believe you put me in that house. It's got this, it's got that, and they don't have this, they don't have that, and I'm dealing with 18-year-olds and 40-year-olds. Like, I'm only 20. Like, it's just trying to get accustomed to, where they're at, and, just be involved as much as you can. That doesn't mean, follow them or anything. It just means see what the house is about. See, talk to the manager, talk to the owner, see what's expected of them, see, what part you can play in your loved one's recovery. Just be part of, the cheerleading team, not necessarily, being in their recovery, because we don't know what they're dealing with. Don't know what they're feeling if we're not somebody in recovery ourselves. So that's my suggestion. And a nice thing is, when you are looking for something in a recovery house, look at their alumni. See how big their alumni is. If they have a big alumni, they're probably a really good house, because people are still involved. Even they may not live in the house, but they're still involved in the house that they were in. They will go to different events and such. So, these are just suggestions that may help you get through and help you understand what's going on. And I don't know if anybody has any questions or can add anything to the information on a recovery house. Feel free to give us a call in at 267-737-8031. Don't forget to subscribe to this page so that we can build a resource for those people that are struggling, that come across us on YouTube, and can possibly give us some resources as well. So if you guys have any concerns of your own, please feel free to reach out and ask us any questions, anything that we know that we have been through ourselves or we have learned through our journey, which October will be 7 years for us in the support groups. So, that's the most important thing I can say for the families out there, for the families, for the friends, whether you're an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father, a grandparent, a sister, brother, a parent, a child. Most of your support groups, the children have to be, at least, well, I think Narnon and Al-Anon are 11 years and up. To 18, and then I think 18 you want to go into the other groups. But Narateen and Alateen are what they're called. And I think they have, what's it called? I forget what it's called. SPIN here in Pennsylvania. Lower Bucks or Northeast Philly, I think it's through. Oh, Larry got here, and he's...
It's tough. I'm glad you found Larry. I'm sorry I've been so quiet tonight. I've been trying all different angles to see how hard it is to find this link.
Yes, it's...
I'm making instructions for dummies right now.
Linking for dummies.
Carol got on.
Yeah, well, that's because Bill got her on. I'm sure she didn't.
She clicked on the link that went out on...
Right, on my...
to everybody. That works
yes.
great if you go on a link that got messaged out, but
yes.
a lot of people are new and it's...
And apparently Larry can actually message to comment, which is awesome. And I do know that Larry, I don't know when you got on, but we're just talking about recovery houses right now. And just the different things that we really need to be... I
don't think Fred found us yet.
Fred asked how he can comment, but I don't know if he's...
Put instructions for dummies up right.
Yes.
But they gotta get this far to read the instructions. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they probably,
They already follow YouTube.
yeah, they're,
Facebook.
Whatever.
Facebook.
yeah, so, this is all new, so hopefully we can do a lot more here than we can on Facebook. We did have some music tonight, so
Linking for dummies.
hopefully we
Boy,
can,
do I qualify.
and hopefully we can keep the music going because I really miss that. And hopefully everybody can get here. But for those just popping in, we were just talking about recovery houses, and if anybody has any information that they want to share, feel free to call into 267-737-8031, and you can share your experience. Hopefully they're positive. But I do know that there are a lot of negative out there. There's not a lot there's just as many bad as there are good. But it's also what you put into it. I know people that have recovered in some of the not so pleasant recovery houses, and they just were ready and they really wanted it, so that's what they did. They did what they needed to do, and they stayed with the positive people. They stayed with the people that really wanted the recovery, and stayed away from those that are there because of the courts, or the family said we can't have you here anymore. And they're really not doing the work, and that's the most important thing in recovery, is to following the people that really know whatever program they're running, they're working. That is so important. We do have a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, now that I get on this thing, how do I get off? Yeah.
You gotta get another phone and just leave
Jesus
the phone
Christ.
on the- Yeah,
Boy, you talk about stupidity on two legs. Boy, do I qualify. 2 legs. I'm so dumb I need stilts, to qualify. It's so stupid.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
know.
but-
You're not used to it, so it's going to take some practice. I have no idea.
Very detailed instructions on the Facebook.
Yes, Richard left very detailed instructions on Living Hopeful Facebook. So hopefully, those that aren't over here yet will find it, and I will post them every Friday so that people can find it. And hopefully it starts to work out. I'm glad that you found the way to comment, because a lot of people can't. I know you have to comment from your phone.
Especially with Larry having a rotary phone, it makes it even harder.
Okay, so let me talk about recovery houses in my experience. I only went
Thank
to...
you.
Okay. I went to 2, actually, but the first one was Daily Reprieve, and that was fantastic. That totally, coming out of rehab, I was determined to try to help and try to, get my life in order. And the structure and the discipline there was great. I mean, it kept me right in line. It kept me right on flowing, right out of rehab, right into a structured situation where I had responsibilities, and there was nothing on the outside that could really influence me. It was kind of like a protective thing, like rehab was. But you have responsibilities. You had a job, so it wasn't like you're in a place for 28 days and you can't get out.
Right.
But just to pick up, learn from other people, whether they're drugs or alcohol, or who's running it and how the meetings go. And that was another thing too. Every day they would take us to a meeting, different meetings. Most of them were the traditional kind, but that didn't matter to me. My whole thing was like, I got to get my lugs straightened out. I don't care if they throw God or don't throw God. Plus, there's like in-house stuff, like you're speaking Wednesday, like, I'm not going to clean this bathroom. I'm not going to vacuum this floor. I'm not going to clean the kitchen. Oh, yes, you are. If you want to stay there and you want to learn, it's just like people don't know how to balance a bank book or pay bills at all. That they helped there. You know, not that I really needed to. I knew how to do the banking thing, but it was just the idea, the whole situation, the whole like responsibility thing, and like tonight's your night to do this, and my night is to do something else, and next week it changes, and the random testing too. So you know you're not going to fool these people, because a couple people tried, and you know they got busted and they're out. You know, and for a couple people it was like, okay, get clean for a week and come back and we'll bring you in. But you know, which was nice. But if you do it again, you're out for good.
Right.
And I've known a couple people that unfortunately went out for good, and they went out, and I know one of them died. And you know, it's just a shame. It's like you have to go with the flow there. That's what I did. Because you know, it depends. Like you said, it's what input you put in. You know, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it.
Exactly.
If you're going to have an attitude about it, you know, you're not going to get anywhere.
No.
You're going to get absolutely nowhere. So that helped me. Then I went back to the city, and you know, they said I had to come back to the city. So after a couple of weeks, they said, "Oh, you can go back out again." Well, you know, there was no more room at the other place, so I had another recovery house, and that was pretty good too. But you know, I only lasted there a couple months. I said, "Well, no, I think I can handle living alone," and I pretty much did. It was an Emily house, I think, one of their places, and you know, it still was like what I had to do. I'd get up 3:30 in the morning, catch that first bus, you catch the first train. But that was part of the discipline too, because you had to be back by a certain time. Had to do your chores. You had to go to the meeting, and it's like I had to mold, you know, reshape myself, and not bitch and complain and whine and cry. I had to do what I had to do, and
Right.
you know, and I'm much better for it now. I you know, things could, you know, well, they always can get better, but you know, compared to they were 5+ years ago, yeah, it's a totally different person now.
Right. Right.
The advice I give to people a lot is that, you know, when you bring your loved one home, it's very hard for you to enforce boundaries. Whereas in a recovery house, you know, you have your peers to deal with to enforce your boundaries. You know, you got to do your chores and all. You can't just say, no, I'm not. Because it's just not going to work. You're going to be out the door. And it just makes for a more, like you said, a more structured living, which, you know, a lot of people need. Really, to get back on the straight and narrow. They need to get their life back on course. And at home, you're not going to be able to enforce those boundaries. It's going to be arguing, and you know what I'm saying, and threatening, and this and that. And where in a recovery house situation, your peers, first of all, you can't bullshit nobody in the house because they all been there, they've all walked the walk. So you're going to get nowhere trying to bullshit people. They're going to see right through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You learn that real
And you
quick.
can't manipulate them.
Yeah.
Can't manipulate those people in the recovery house. You can go home and might try to do it to mom and dad or the wife or the kids, but you know, they're they ain't happening.
I mean,
Right.
And that's definitely healthy. I mean, because right then and there, you know, you got to change your whole spiel there. You got to either embrace it or leave.
Right.
I mean, I mean, if you want to get your life together, at that point you start embracing your recovery. I mean, and it's you know, it's all positive.
Right. It's what you put into it. That's the most important thing, is that you put into it.
Right. Not just going through the motions to appease everybody else. You have to want it, and you got to put into it, and like Larry said, and take it seriously and do the work. It works if you work it. I mean, nobody said it's easy. If it's easy, we wouldn't have so many people struggling, you know, trying to get a recovery and trying to get clean and sober.
Right.
It's
Definitely
easy.
not easy.
No.
It's what, like I keep saying, it's what a person puts into it. I mean, the second time around, I was fed up. I was so at my bottom that, you know, like, I even tried suicide and I screwed that up too. But I was so down and out, and, you know, and I realized, you know, I had that aha moment with my cousin who talked me into it. And, you know, that kind of completely changed me around as far as an attitude and wanting to get clean. And, you know, I went to Living Green. That kept, you know, the things kept building as long as I wanted to build. You want to, you know, do what I was told, not what I think I should do.
Right.
And
Found this.
it gets better.
Okay.
And, you know, And at the time, it took, hey, first 2 years, like I said, it's like, you're walking in mud from chest high, and it looks like you're doing stuff, you're going nowhere. But as time goes on, the mud gets lower, you start making progress, and you start seeing, if you're really working it honestly, you could see the progress happening. You could see things getting better. I saw things getting better. And the more, and I know now that this is the program they're going to have to do the rest of my life if I want to have, the life that I'm having now, and only for it to get better, without fooling myself, without bragging about myself. But just shut up and keep going and keep going. And that's what I'm doing now.
Awesome.
And that's awesome. And
Eric and Barb, we want to acknowledge you. We know you guys are in the house. People are starting to find us now.
yeah.
Apparently, just people with iPads trying to figure out what it looks like. So,
Oh, okay. Richard's going to look on my iPad for you and see. Well, he can help you get where we need to be. And I lost my comments, so I can't see the
Yeah.
comments again.
I picked you guys up on the on your message thing. It says,
Right, that's the
Link up
that's
to
what I
this.
found. You just
Yeah.
click on that link on the messenger, and it takes you right
yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, me like a jackass, going hit open link instead of hitting the numbers, the link that you
Yeah, well, I
sent,
tried
you
all
wrote
different
out.
avenues.
I'm hitting the other thing, and I'm like, what the fuck happening here? Then I hit the link thing that was on their thing. Right away, I was on. I said,
Right.
great, what a genius I am.
It's confusing. I mean, I was trying all different angles, and some of them I couldn't get on. Yeah, but we're working
Yeah,
it out.
well, I'm Einstein's dumber brother, so,
Well-
Frankie Einstein,
I am very dumb to all of this, so, I'm learning myself, and now I have
Larry still has an 8-track in his car, you know what I'm saying? So like, we can't blame Larry.
Real to real.
I got one right behind me.
Yeah, I'm just,
One right behind me. I got all one.
I'm
He
just
uses
trying
for
to,
different effects and all.
yeah, just trying
Got
to
a
figure
yard
it
sale
out.
up the street.
Yeah. I'm still doing a pencil with the cassette, trying to straighten it out,
Yes.
That's on the cassette. Yeah.
Yep. It's funny, we don't think about that. Like the kids today, they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They have no clue as to, how rough we had it growing up.
So much technology has come and gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To them, it's like looking at Rome in ruins, It's like, wow, what the hell?
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. It's,
Yeah.
you don't have, I can't find it again.
She can't do
But-
two things at once.
I'm trying. Oh, there we go.
here goes mine.
But they're getting back to records. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, look, we're going back to vinyl again. Is that nuts?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just crazy to think that they're going back to vinyl after all
Yeah, I have
these
an old
years.
I have an old record player. I can't wait to play my old albums, hear the scratching noises again.
Yeah. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.
Yeah. Sounds like a grinding machine. You can hardly hear the music.
Yes. And Barb, my mom says hello. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
She can't comment because they're on the TV. So,
We're watching this on the big 65-inch tonight.
yes. So I must look really huge.
Bigger than life.
God.
Literally.
We're not like self-abuse,
But you're welcome. I tried to send everybody the link, so hopefully everybody can find it eventually, and we'll keep posting on Facebook so everybody knows where to find us on Fridays. Of course, I'm giving.
I'm going to hang up so maybe somebody else will want to call in. So
Thank you so
thanks for
much.
letting me share and have a good night. I'll be listening.
Thank you, Larry.
FCC here.
Thanks for
The FCC's listening.
All righty.
Our icebreaker.
Okay.
Yes.
See you.
And that was our Larry. He has always so much information to help
He
people.
does. He's a good friend
Oh,
of the
you
show.
can
A
hang
lot of
him up.
experience.
But
Those
it's
dogs are allowed to escape tonight. Oh, good. Eric's got all the dogs tied up.
good. Did you find the dog, I hope?
Just don't tie them up to one of the big plastic ashtray things, you know, that extinguish the butts. We had a little episode down the shore with our friend tied his dog to it to go in and ask a question, and next thing you know, his dog's running down the street, cigarette butts flying all over the way in tow.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I got a lot of laughs out of it.
Yeah, I would have gotten
He
a
was
lot.
mortified.
I would have gotten a lot of laughs if I was
He
there.
mortified. He got the lady
Yeah.
like, shaking her head at him.
Yes, it was a nice weekend. We went down to where was Stone Harbor. That was really cool. I've never been to Stone Harbor. Very nice beach. Wish they had bathrooms, but you
They
know,
did.
yeah, you had to walk to them though.
World's biggest bathroom.
Yeah, well, you couldn't get out. Well, I couldn't get out because there was the whole where the water breaks. It was all stingrays. So I was like, yeah, no. And what was his name? Steve, whatever his name was, died
Steve
from.
Irwin?
Steve Irwin died from one of them.
Crocodile hunter.
No, I'll pass on the stingrays.
Honey, the
Thanks.
stingray that killed him was as big as this console here.
I don't care.
These things were like this big.
I
They were
don't care. I don't care. Nope, not going in. So, but it was a beautiful beach. The sand was, and it was a beautiful day. It was like a nice breeze, so it wasn't like stifling hot like it has
Yeah,
been.
that was on Labor Day. We pull up at a parking spot, a free one,
A free
like
one.
right at the beach.
Yep.
Walk right over to the bulkhead there, down onto the beach.
And I was supposed to be
We
there.
got beach tagged, but there's nobody there to check them. So,
Yeah, I was supposed
For
to
the
be
waste.
there tomorrow. No, today. I was supposed to be there today, this morning, but Jackson was sick, and now Lane is sick.
The whole
and
house is sick.
Pappy's sick, Richard's sick, Ashley's sick, Aunt Sue's sick, and I'm sure I'll be there tomorrow. So, yeah, so, yes, I'm hoping that I can avoid it. I'm just going to sleep outside. I just don't want to I'm just tired of colds. So,
Well, you know, when your grandchildren go to the Please Touch Museum, where everybody's touching everything,
yes,
you know,
you're
hence the name,
you were
you're bound to pick up
destined.
something. I mean, they'll just go to Walmart, like shopping cart handles. What's the difference?
Pretty much. So does anybody else have anything that they want to talk about? Please let us know. We are here. We are
So
listening.
The people that can't get on, they don't have YouTube downloaded. I don't know anyone that has made it through her life without downloading.
Okay. So is that what you're saying on
Aha.
Okay.
That's
Did you
the
tell them to
problem.
download it?
We
Talking to Fred.
Oh,
Well,
Fred.
we come to the conclusion the problem a lot of people are having get on, they don't have YouTube downloaded onto their devices.
Right.
Who
So
don't have YouTube?
That's only to comment. You can
Even I do. I mean,
to comment, you have to have it downloaded. Okay. So come on, Fred, get in there.
come on, Fred.
Get
Guy
that
can run a whole
downloaded.
water department, but he can't figure out YouTube. I mean, my gosh.
And Richard has set me up with something else, and I can't get back to the comments on that. I don't know where they are, but I'll figure it out. It'll take some time.
Thank God for our engineer, because we would be floundering in this technology.
Yes.
Terrible. Terrible. But look, we have a great backdrop, though. It looks good. And we're growing in increments there, right? We're becoming more and more technologically advanced. I mean, we got call-in line. We didn't have that, you know, a year ago. Well, it's getting better.
Yes.
I don't see any of our new friends on here. They're probably trying to figure out how to find us.
But like when we started, we didn't have many people there, and now we have a whole bunch. So hopefully, people will start finding us. People will be figuring out. Maybe I'll figure it out by next week. Who's that, Fred? Is it Fred?
2022.
My son thinks everybody should know all this off the top of their
Yeah,
head.
I don't. I am
He grew
so.
up, learned it in school. I learned it in school.
Yeah.
About computers.
No.
We had one computer for the whole school.
Yeah,
Catholic
remember
high
back
school.
then?
It was called the Wang.
The
That
Wang.
was the name of the computer. I remember Father
Wang.
Ira. Everybody goes, "This is not a toy. Do not play with the Wang." And like I would, we would just go to pieces. He goes, "What is so funny?" Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that was the Dewey Decimal System in the library, so,
Dewey Decimal System. I still remember the Dewey Decimal System.
uh-huh. Yep,
And I am a weirdo. I still enjoy the library.
he does.
As fast paced as I was in school, I always loved the library. I love going and just look up useless knowledge. I mean, I just look up the most bizarre things and just read about them. That's what
Yes.
makes, YouTube so great. And the internet, you can just look up the goofiest stuff, and that's what I like to do.
Yes. And so if you are here and you have the ability to chat, could you put in hey or something so we know you're there? And
And always remember to hit subscribe. And
yes.
then you can get, as we said earlier, notifications when we're on. And it don't really matter. We're not monetized, so it ain't like we're going to get it. So don't worry about that. But it just helps for the notifications. I know a lot of times you watch YouTube channels and go, make sure you hit subscribe, so they can all like quit their jobs and live off of YouTube.
Well.
I don't see that happening with us.
Ryan is with us in the house. We
All
were
right.
talking about recovery houses, and if there's somebody that knows about recovery houses, Ryan does. Ryan is very helpful to me when I'm trying to find somebody somewhere to go.
And
So-
speaking of recovery houses, I mean, it's a little harder to get placed when you're on MAT, subs or Suboxone or methadone or so forth. It's a little harder to get placed, but that's getting easier. I mean, I don't know, 2 years ago it was almost impossible.
Yeah.
So it's coming a long way. I mean, I didn't know if you touched on that one earlier. We were talking about recovery houses.
Yes.
It kind of limits your, availability to different houses, but it is what it is. I mean, but that's getting better and better. I mean, every year more and more are becoming more and more lenient on that and more open to it and accepting of it.
God, I'm gigantic on this.
It's not that.
I can't imagine what I look like on a 65
You look like the
inch.
cleaning lady. I know you look like. Look at all the wrinkles in your shirt.
I'm
oh my
telling
God,
you.
People,
I'm sorry, I
She was out working in the yard today, getting ready for this party. I mean, and I still look fresh and crisp.
Yeah, no,
My purple shirt. I can wear my purple shirt to work today.
no, I've done nothing with my hair. I have no makeup.
Me
I have
neither.
a
Look
cold
at that,
sore.
Look at that. My gel is worn out. I'm sweating.
I'm telling you, I'm
I
terrible.
have a gel breakdown.
Yes, but
This is not a fashion show. This is a recovery show.
yeah. So this is me,
So
my
I don't
bag,
care what my wife looks like. I mean,
my bags and all. But yeah, just I think it's important that we try and just stay connected with our loved ones when they're in recovery. A lot of places,
and it's a big decision. It's a big decision to decide that to put your loved one in the recovery house. I mean, it's scary for some parents and siblings and
spouses alone,
loved ones.
because
I mean, like I just want to bring them home. I mean, what do you mean they're going to put them into this house with strangers and this and that? They just don't realize the advantages of it. I
Right.
mean, and the biggest one being is it's much easier to enforce boundaries in a recovery house situation than bringing someone home.
right, especially spouses, because not only do they have to pay for the recovery house, they also have to help with the mortgage, with the bills. So that can be a real strain on a loved one's spouse going into recovery house, because they depend on them, and they've already been 28 days in treatment. So now we're going.
The spouse situation definitely
Yeah.
becomes much more difficult.
Right. Okay.
But it's doable. We know people have done it, and it's the only thing that's proved to be successful for them. I mean,
Right.
They tried the other one. They sometimes IOP and all just doesn't work for some people. And, I mean, they just go back to their old habits because there's nobody there to really call them on anything. You know what I mean? It's very hard to call them, and it's enforce boundaries and all, like I said. And you get into that structured living, you can't bullshit nobody. Here we go. Reinstate structured environments. Thank you, Eric.
And it does. It's, you don't realize all of the things that are out there, the triggers that are out there once you get through treatment, and it just like hits you like a brick wall. Like, especially right now with all of the stores opening up with the beer and the wine and some heavy, fireballs everywhere in the stores. So, how do you come out of treatment and then get faced with that, or driving anywhere, and you're so used to like coming home from work and stopping at the bar? Now we have to find alternatives because you want to change up that regimen. Like, you really have to like change things, because that can become a trigger. And I mean, I know there's sometimes when I'm just doing something and that I haven't done in a long time, and I'll just go to that particular thing like, boy, I haven't done that in a while, but it's there because you're just so used to doing that.
And it's so funny when they go into that structured living, they go into the recovery house. Like, we were just working with somebody the other day, and I told them, listen, I can tell you everything you're going to hear. You're going to hear there's bed bugs. You're going to hear there's no food. We're starving. Boom, sure as shit. There's no food here. I'm starving. Oh, my goodness. And all these people, they don't like me. It's the same.
And I think one of the hardest things is being vocal and advocating for yourself, to learn how to do, to learn the rules. But the hardest part is you were, say, 30, and there's 20-year-olds, and there's 50-year-olds, and they're dealing with 20-year-olds. So
I think the hardest thing is you face reality. You can't manipulate the people in the house like you can at home.
Yes.
I mean, because, they're going to call you on all that
Yes.
stuff. I mean, and that's the hardest reality check right there. And once you get over that, things start getting better.
Yeah, they've been
You're
there.
not running that house like you think you are at
Right.
home.
They've been there, done that.
It's everybody's house. You're not running it.
Yep. And it's crazy because that's just facts. That's how it goes. But just trying to deal with, different personalities all living under the same roof, that has to be, I can't even imagine that. But
You got to be kidding me. We live that every day.
But, at first we didn't know our daughter-in-law, and, it's been a couple years now. So, we all know each other pretty much now.
My
But
grandchildren, one's the sweetest little princess, the other one's the evil spawn.
he's not evil. He's just very adventurous.
He's just very...
He's-
a lot of energy.
He's, oh gosh, except for right now, he is so sick. He's just
Yeah, I
so
worried about it. I
miserable.
never see him this subdued.
No, he's just very sick today. So, but I can't imagine being in a room of strangers that I don't know, and it's constantly changing because some people have been there for so long and they move on to the sober house, and even moving from that structure that you're used to, and then they're like, you know what, you've been here long enough. I think you're doing really good. We're going to move you up to sober house. Maybe as a manager, or I don't know if they do that way, but we're going to move you over to the sober house because we could use this bed for somebody that's just getting out of rehab, and they feel confident in you. That can be very strenuous too, and I do hear that a lot. Like, I'm
and
nervous.
They do force you to go to meetings too. You are expected to partake in meetings where you're at home and like, well, not tonight. I'm tired. I don't. Him and in the hall. I mean, we're there.
Yeah.
I mean, the peer pressure works in a positive manner. I mean, the whole house is going to meeting. Yeah, guess what? You're getting in the buggy. You're going to the meeting too.
And I believe there's house meetings as well, so,
Better known as the druggy buggy.
yes. There's also that, the house meetings too. I don't know if every house does it, but I have heard that that is something that they do, a lot of, so,
Which is very, very important when you're, especially when you're in early recovery, is you gotta do the meetings. It's what makes it work.
right.
It really does, and, you know, some people, they become too complacent too quick. I don't need them no more. Yeah, you know, some people, yeah, okay, maybe it'll work for you, but most people, they need that constant reinforcement, especially early in recovery. I
Right.
mean, you know, you gotta constantly sit there, put it in your brain, and it helps you to embrace your recovery more and take it more serious.
And, you know, you're gonna have to scrub the toilet. It's your turn to scrub the toilet, do the bathroom, like, what? No, mm-mm. Like, it's a whole new world out there that you have no choice. You have
I
to
didn't
do
say
the
no, well,
chores.
everybody else has to. What makes you
Right.
think you're so special?
I'm sorry, where's your crown? I
Say like,
Yeah, I think you forgot your crown.
Oh,
No,
I
it
guess they're
doesn't
right.
happen that way. But, you know, it teaches you to be an adult, how to adult. And sometimes it's, you know, if it's a spouse, you know, maybe when you were a kid, you were doing chores around the house, but now you're married and, you know, you're working, the wife is doing the house chores, and, you know, some may help, some may not, and then, you know, you're like, oh, here's the mop the floor. Like, what?
And you can't just lock yourself in your room away from everybody. You said, you know, you got to get out. You can't just sit in the house all day long. You got to go out, go look for a job, or go to work. I mean, they're not going to let you sit around like you do at home, just, you know, locking yourself in your room away from everybody, you know, and
Yeah.
sitting in your depression or this and that. You got to go out and do things.
Yes.
And it's something that's hard to enforce at home.
Yes, Eric says if you go at it accepting the fact you are low man on the totem pole, you grow faster. Yet that you do, because, you know, a lot of times you don't realize, like, you know, the things that you need to do, that the things that can help the whole house. And I think that's amazing. I do know I don't know him, but I've heard the stories. Like, he doesn't want to sit idle. He just doesn't like the idle. So he's fixing things in the house. He's cooking. He's doing the lawn. Like, he is just there, and he wants to be active, and he wants to be proactive and help, and
Proactive. We volunteer with them.
just don't want to be stagnant. And, you know, that's the hard thing. Stagnant just opens up to the stinking thinking and the depression and the anxiety. It's just keep yourself busy.
You gotta
and
keep yourself busy, like Laura said, definitely. I mean, before you end up getting stuck inside your own head and rehashing old things, and but you find a
yes,
new hobby, find new things to do
Yeah.
to keep yourself busy, and help the new people coming in. You know, transition
Exactly.
into the house.
Exactly.
So it's like,
and Eric says humility spawns pride eventually. It absolutely does. And when you see somebody in recovery, and that is in a recovery house, you do.
yeah, we see humility. I thought it was Eric that was caught in the grape arbor, but after rehashing,
No,
I
it
read
was
the
that
dog-
damn
the
dog.
Okay, because you know, I'm reading around his poster all over. I was, oh my goodness.
Yes,
This
it was
picture
the
of Eric in
damn
that
dog.
Grape arbor with his pocket knife trying to get out.
Yes. He says it kind of like when they would find me at the bar whining. But
You can see him there with his Cosmopolitan
yeah.
in a dirty glass.
What's that, pink squirrel or something? I don't know.
Pink squirrel.
But you know, it's hard, you know, having to do what you don't want to do. But you have no choice. You have to do it because everybody else has to do it. Why do you think you wouldn't have to do it?
Larry found us again.
Yes.
Twice, so we know it's doable. Larry sets the bar for the rest of you.
Yes.
If Larry can find us twice, you can find us once.
Yes, I don't know what happened to Larry. I guess he got booted off and had to come back in.
Nobody called. He had to.
Oh, he had, yeah. Yes, maybe that's what it
You
was.
can't have two things going with them rotary phones. You gotta X out of one. Go on to the next.
Yes, but you know, it's hard. I mean, even getting married, you know, and moving into with somebody that you think you really know, and then, you know.
Coming up on 32 years this month, and I didn't rush into it.
No, he did not.
We dated for a long time. 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
Well,
But
I knew she was the girl for me.
yes, and I knew he was the man for me. And before I even knew his name, I knew he was the man for me. That was pretty scary. But yeah,
Don't say
so
too much. I'm waiting for the movie to come out.
okay. But you know, just moving in with somebody that you think you know really well, you have to work out the bugs, you know. That's the important thing, and especially when it's a man and they feel like they don't have to do the housework because they're the working man. And you know, just trying to connect and help each other out and understand each other and where our place is, that's hard enough. But then to do it with strangers, that's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, what a difficult transition. I mean, I remember years and years and years ago, I lived in this big apartment with 3 other guys. It was like a commune,
But you knew them,
but I knew them.
right?
But you don't know somebody until you live with them.
No, you don't.
I mean, just like, you know, if you move in with your significant other, you know them, but you don't know them till you live with them. But we were simple, man.
Simple men.
Yes.
You were goofballs, is what you were.
It was a great experience.
Yes, and I never
And
did.
they all went on to greater things. I mean,
Yeah, I always, you know, I always had somebody helping me all the time. Like I moved out of my parents' house and moved in with really good friends in the neighborhood that we used to call Mom and Dad. So like I went from Mom and Dad to Mom and Dad, and then I moved out back home here and lived with my aunt, who's my special mom, and so I never had that. And then I've never been on my own ever. And I'm only 25. So it's just really weird that, you know, I've never lived without somebody helping me. So, but I know how to cook and clean and pick up and do all that stuff.
She
So tonight's dinner may have took a shit, but it's not my fault. I cooked it the same way I do all the time. It's just tough. Don't know what to tell you.
that steer must have had a rough life.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
You
He
know?
had a rough life, that son of a bitch, and he was going to take it out on the first person trying to eat him.
What are you doing, Richard? What are you doing? But that's a hard thing, trying to understand new people, and especially when you have those age gaps. That's what I hear a lot is like, I can't be here. I'm 30 years old and this guy's 19. Like, he smokes pot and does coke, and you know, I'm an alcoholic. I can't be in this house. They don't understand me. And well, then find a house that does understand you.
Right,
Like,
there are a lot of houses out there. Just, you know, it's the same advice we get for meetings. I mean, you go to a meeting, you don't feel like you fit in, you don't like it, try another one, and then try another one after that. If that doesn't click, there's so many of them out there. There's
Yep.
a lot of recovery houses out there. Eventually, you'll find something that's a good fit for you, but just don't throw in the towel and give it up. I mean,
right. I
You've
don't-
come this far, I mean, don't give it up.
Right. I don't know if it was a bad dinner. It was just tough meat. I haven't had it yet, so maybe he just got a bad batch. So, I'll see.
It will be all right. I'm going to get a hatchet out of the basement.
But did it taste good?
And I'm going to hatchet the living heck.
But did it taste good? That's the question.
Yeah, you put enough garlic on it. My-
As long as it
My
tasted
foot
good,
would
I don't
taste good.
care. So, hey, it's all about the flavor, the taste. So, yes,
But that's
this.
garlic, not garlic salt. I don't know
No,
who buys garlic salt. I just don't understand the
Yes.
whole rationale behind it.
they have very
Garlic
big
salt.
ankles.
You got garlic and you got salt. You don't need them mixed together in the same bottle.
Right, because you're going to put salt on it anyway.
Especially when we use garlic. Oh my
Yeah.
God, if we use garlic salt,
Yes, but
you'd be able to melt ice on a pavement.
you know, and maybe do something in the house that you really like that's your thing. They might say, hey, I'll do this for you if you do that. So, you know, barter system. Badger is never easy to cook. No. This was no badger. But this is like the
This
second.
was the wildebeest.
Yeah, this is the roast beef I made in between this one and the one before that. That was tough too. Then the second one was really good. It was tender, it was juicy, it was very
We
good.
got to dig out our raw propeel, set it, and forget
And forget it. Yes.
Rotisserie. I love that thing. Remember them on the
Yes.
TV? I had to get one.
It doesn't
Send me
matter.
one of them.
It's not going to make it not tough.
I don't care. I
It's
love
not.
that device.
It is. And I can't stand when I cook on it because you just sit there and you don't want to leave because you're just watching the juices roll around on it. And it's just like,
what's
and
going on?
it's
I'm
and it
just watching the
smells
meat.
so good. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or concerns or
Oh, that Ron Propeel, he knew his stuff, man.
yes,
That
if-
pocket fisherman, oh my gosh, I love that thing back
oh my gosh, I look so
That was
huge. It's disgusting.
Well, if you pull it down real hard, the wrinkles come out. Put an ironing board in here, Mr. Engineer.
Larry says when I cooked, we said prayers after dinner.
Can I steal that? Can I use that, Larry? That's good.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it's a hard thing to get used to. Doing different things, being uncomfortable. Same thing with recovery. Recovery is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and doing different things. You know, raising your hand for the first time, walking into a meeting for the first time, going into recovery, you know, detox for the first time. That's a hard step, and it's a scary step. But once you take the first step, the second and the third are much easier, especially when you start to meet people and hear their stories and say, the drug may have been different, but the story's the same. You know, some have a little bit of different stories, but it's still the same disease. And, you know, that is what recovery is so awesome about, because everybody can be connected and everybody can be doing very well
You know,
together.
You'll possibly forge friendships in there that, you know, even after everything's come and gone, you move on with your lives, you still stay in touch.
Yeah,
If things get a little rough and somebody call up and lean on a little bit, I mean, it's very good to make friends in recovery and get sponsors and raise your hand and just get to know people. Get to, you know, don't just try to do it on your own, all by yourself.
and then help the next person.
Right.
And that's,
that in itself is therapeutic for you.
yeah,
I mean, and that in itself, I mean, you feel like you're strong enough, you know, in your recovery, you're embracing enough that you can actually start to help another person. You know what I mean? That's very fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Right.
It gives you a lot more confidence in yourself.
it does. It really
Let's face
does.
it, I mean, sometimes we give up on ourselves and we lose our self-confidence and we just figure that this is never going to change.
Right.
This is the way it's going to be forever, you know, and it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, once you start embracing your recovery and exploring all the different things, your life becomes so much more enriched. I mean, you do so much new things and more things, and I know so many people become so humble because they're some of the nicest people I know now.
Right.
I mean, like Larry, he's so humble. He's great. And I have another friend of mine, John, who's like, he can't do enough for you and help enough people. I mean, and these are guys that found their bottom, man, their rock bottom, and they turned their lives around. And I mean, they just love helping people.
Yes. And unfortunately, Barb, that's just something that you're not going to be able to do. It just, you're not. Your brain looks at alcohol differently than other people. So when you pick up that one beer, maybe 2 beers, the next weekend you're picking up 4.
And, and it's a harsh reality, Barb. We understand. And to think you can't ever do something again, but look at it as like a
Right.
medical condition. If you got like diverticulosis, you can't eat anything with seeds ever because you know you're going to pay the price for it. I mean,
Right.
look at it more like that as as a moral failure, but as a medical type thing. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that would help you or not, but yeah, it's rough. I mean, it's a harsh reality. Like, I can never do that again.
Right.
It's just a very unsettling feeling, you know? Like,
Right. And
we
that's,
understand.
and it's scary, like, you know, thinking that you can't ever do that again. I don't think anybody's successful at that. You know, I do know, definitely. I know several people that, you know, 10 years in, they were like, well, you know, it's been 10 years. I'm just going to have one. And the next weekend they have 2. You know, oh, see, it didn't affect me. And the next thing you know, they're back at the bar. They're you know, all their money's gone. They're
Remember, your brain never forgets.
right.
You know what I mean? Your brain is always going to desire that drink or drug of choice. You know, and like no matter how long, I mean, your brain is going to be going, boy, you're going to taste that, and it's going to trigger things in your brain, and it's going to be off to the races.
Yeah.
Now, you always hear that odd story about the person was able to do it. I mean, you know, but they're very few and far between.
Very
They're
few.
isolated instances, I mean,
Right.
and it's just not worth the gamble. The deck is stacked against you.
Yes, and it is. And you work so hard to get where you're at today. So,
It's like cigarettes. I haven't smoked a cigarette in like 18 years. Right? You know, I haven't even taken a puff. I'm afraid to take a puff off a cigarette because I'm afraid I'm going to be back to smoking.
yes.
You
I know I would be.
I was a heavy smoker, man. I was like 2 packs a day, 3 on the weekends. I mean, I'm scared to death to even take a puff. I mean, just because I know that's what will happen to me. And it was so
Right.
such a great feeling giving up cigarettes. I mean, not smelling like an ashtray.
Right. And Eric says sobriety has no preferences how it's attained. Relapse does because you know long before you act on it.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
see you,
definitely
Larry.
true.
I see you, Larry.
Can you see me?
I
Yeah,
see you.
We see you, Larry.
But you know,
Where's the crucifix?
you have to really be careful. Like, it's just something you don't want to play with. It's Russian roulette. Like, you know, you go right back to filling that whole chamber, and
Like I
you
said,
just
I
don't
mean,
want to
like
do
Roy
it.
Says, I've heard so many stories, you know, it starts out as 1 or part and then the next week, maybe 2. And oh my gosh, it just escalates so quickly from there. I mean, you're right back in the saddle.
Right.
And like you come so far, Barbara, you gotta stay strong. You gotta keep it fresh. Hopefully, you're making some meetings.
Yes.
Yeah, I think-
And that's important, especially when you're thinking like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's so important to get connected and stay connected. Because you'll hear those stories like, I thought I could and found out that I couldn't. Back right where I am, I've lost my house again, and you build too much. You build those relationships back. You build your life back, and and you don't want to do that. It's how hard it was for you to get where you are today. That's the most.
It took a lot of work and a lot of determination on your part. I mean,
Yes. And
but it's good that you're so honest with us, though. I mean,
Right.
don't get us wrong. I mean, it's great that you're able to be that honest with us. And sure, I would be scared too.
And that's the nice thing. You can come here and you can say that and know that you're
yeah,
going to
man,
get the support.
We know what you're.
We're not going to say go ahead and have a drink. We're going to say don't. That. I mean, that's us. We're brutally honest. We're going to call you on your shit.
But we're not going to say it's abnormal thinking. I mean, you're still fresh in sobriety. I mean, of course, these thoughts are going to cross your
Yes.
mind.
And early sobriety meetings are so important. And sticking to those meetings. And if you're still having those thoughts, more neat meetings and more meetings, like that's so important.
And the summer's the hardest season, especially we equate certain activities with the alcohol. I mean,
Yep.
you're sitting on the beach, you're down shore, everybody wants to get belly up to the bar. We understand that. Now winter's coming, it'll ease up a little on you.
Yeah.
Although I used to like to drink beer when I shovel snow.
Yes.
So,
And then
my remedy to that, I just stopped shoveling snow. My wife does it, and
pretty much. But then we have our holidays coming up, and
holidays are rough. Yep, definitely.
and I'm going to see, I have a friend that helped me a lot get me where I am today. And I'm going to see if she wants to come on the show and do her holiday,
They kind of time stays on there, though.
her
The other one didn't have
her
time.
holiday show. Not her show, but her holiday, talk, because that's important. We're going to be coming up on. Oh, I hate to even think of it. No, but we're coming up on.
Enough of that whining.
I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's great. It
Oh, that's
doesn't
my
cost
favorite.
me
That's my
much,
favorite
and I can
holiday.
eat like a pig that I am.
I love Thanksgiving.
Christmas, I love it because of the kids, but it's so freaking expensive. And
That's the best part about grandchildren. I mean, your kids
Yeah.
grow up, Christmas
It
kind of
is.
loses
It's-
its luster, and you get grandkids, and that luster comes back. I mean,
yeah, I
my
mean, I
gosh,
used to.
I love that.
Yeah, I
See
used to
them grow.
love watching Rich just open his gifts when he was young. Because, you couldn't walk in the house. There was piles of boxes and just piles. Because he had everybody in his life, so there was just piles.
And he's an only child.
Yes. And as he got older, the pile got much smaller.
But the gifts got much more expensive because
Yes.
my son pursued a life of music.
Yeah.
So, here's these drum mics. Oh, they're only like. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to say numbers.
But, they start getting into the Game Boy, they start getting into the PlayStations, and it's just like, here's your presents.
No more red fire trucks.
So, and
And no
then,
more army guns, or they'd be sending them for counseling.
Right.
You can't play army anymore.
no. And then it's the dreaded winter. I hate winter.
I have to concur.
I
must concur.
I loathe winter. Loathe
And this
winter.
weather this week, it's we only get a few weeks of fall or a few weeks of spring. I mean, this is perfect weather.
Yeah. This is okay weather, but I like it a little. Well, today was pretty good because it was there was a breeze, so my sweat was keeping me cool with the breeze, so that wasn't too bad. But it's
We got 6 minutes left. If anybody's got any questions or anything, there's still time to call in. Or
anybody want to call in?
Type something in on there.
267-737-8031.
we have a limited audience tonight. But I think we'll work through them bugs by next week.
Yes, hopefully everybody can get back into the swing next week
Might have
here
to
on
invite everybody over
YouTube.
to the studio for a tutorial.
Yes.
All the local people.
But yeah, and if you could hit the subscribe and share this out as well so that people know where we are, and hopefully that we'll be able to be found easier in the coming months.
And remember, the whole month of September is Recovery Month.
Yes,
Still lots of
tomorrow,
events going on as such.
tonight, there was a town hall meeting at the church over on Richelieu. Can't think of the name of it all of a sudden.
Calvary?
Calvary. And tomorrow, they are also having an event
They have a
too.
big music fest.
A music
Over
fest,
at the
and
Conquering
indoor.
Grounds.
Yeah, the Conquering Grounds.
I think it's both.
It is. I believe. Well, I know the town hall meeting was tonight, and I
Right,
really
that would
wanted
be
to go,
indoor.
but I was.
But yeah, they have a lot of
Busy.
music. It's Christian-based music, but still got a good beat. I mean,
And coming up, we have October 9th is the Back to Livingren Day. That's going to be amazing. We're going to do Rodney Dangerfield.
that's the Christian Life Center, Calvary, over at the
Yeah.
Christian Life Center. With Ben Salem.
We have coming up, they're going to be doing the trunk or treat. There's going to be a moon bounce. There's going to be things for the kids to do.
Yep, that's all in Livingren.
And that's
up.
at Livingren. It's at the Ben Salem campus. And just coming up, let me see where it is. I know I'm not going to be able to find it. They
Rodney
have.
Dangerfield.
Oh, here it is. I saved it today. Join us Saturday, September 10th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. to learn from bereaved survivors that have turned to advocacy in the Memorial Garden in observance of Overdose Awareness Month. Pre-registration not required, but encouraged by scanning code, blah, 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 blah. It is on my page, so go to the page, but it is the Memorial Garden.
And speaking of Memorial Gardens, remember this Sunday is September 11th, you know, the day to live in infamy, and the Garden of Reflection up in Yardley will be having a ceremony reenacting all the events of the day, talking about, I think it starts like 8:30 in the morning. Awesome place. If you've never been there, I mean, if you don't want to go on that day, it's going to be pretty crowded. Try to fit it into your schedule sometime to go check it out. Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The Garden of Reflection up in Yardley.
And on September 17th, the ProAct Walk has gone virtual. However, Livingren will be getting together at the Garden of Reflection again, and we are going to do the walk. We're going to spend some time at the fountain at the memorial, and then we're going to Wow Cow, or something for ice
The
cream.
local dairy.
Yes,
over there for
so
ice cream.
if you are
Short drive.
anywhere near Lower Bucks, it is in New Hope? No, not New Hope, it's in Yardley,
Yeah.
so in that area.
Up in the Yardley Newtown area. I mean,
Yes. So we will be doing that. Check my page for the time. I don't believe the time has been figured out yet. I'm going to be missing my granddaughter's first dance for her new session. But that is it's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful area to check out. So do that, and what else?
About all of them right now. I mean, pretty much all of our events.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. And November
That's right, on November.
17th, I believe. I don't know, I'm probably wrong, but as I get the information, I will put it out there. We will be doing the
Harvest Moon
Harvest
Dance.
Moon Dance. This will be a year that we had the first one, and it was amazing. So once I get tickets,
This will be our fourth one,
This will
right?
be our
Yeah,
fourth
we had
dance.
3 this year. Now it's
yeah. So
went all
this,
the way around, so we're going to have our second November one.
yes, this is going to be this is where it all kicked off and started. So that's coming up again. That is at Georgine's,
Georgine's
again in the big
Bristol.
room, and it is $35 from my understanding. And if you want to donate a basket, a service, a gift card, monetary
And all profits go towards,
Livingren Scholarship.
Livingston Scholarship, scholarshiping people, in their
And
their first couple
also,
weeks or whatever.
Livingren is having their big fundraiser breakfast, so check my page out. You get information on that.
It's out of my league. I'm
It's
looking
out
for
of my
some
league.
Sponsorships. Ooh,
Yeah. But that's one of their biggest fundraisers, to help get scholarships for their location. But
All right.
that's about the only thing that I remember coming up. And as I find things out, check my page. I will be posting it. And so next week we will be back here on YouTube, right, Rich?
Yep.
We will be back here. As I get information, I will post it on my page so that everybody's aware where we're at and how to get here. And maybe I'll figure it out by then. So everybody with,
That brings us to an end. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody have a good weekend.
everybody have a great
Everybody,
weekend.
Everybody remember, don't forget all those that perished on September 11th.
Yeah. Oh, before we
Sunday.
go, I have a very special something to say, and I'm sorry that I even just coming over to here, it just got crazy. But we did lose a wonderful woman that was on our show in the past. Her name is Trace Schickling, and she fought so hard in her recovery to be a better person and helping other people, and funny, but ended up with cancer. And we lost her a few days ago to cancer. And there is information on my page. I will repost it. There is a beef and beer going on in honor of her. And the proceeds will go to help
Let's promote a beef and beer on our recovery show.
You don't have to drink, but that's what it is. I'm sorry, not everybody's in recovery, but there's a lot of people in recovery that will be going but not drinking. But they are, the proceeds will be going for the children that is left behind. So just check out my page, and I will post the information up there. Sorry, it's not my fundraiser. It is for Trace's children, and just want to say rest in peace. She was such a beautiful woman. I did just post her show again, so if anybody wants to go back and check that out, she just was phenomenal. So God bless the family, and we will see you back here next Friday on YouTube. And everybody have a great week. If you are struggling with anything at all, please reach out to me, 267-737-8031. Please share this out, and please subscribe to our page.
All right, gang, remember, recovery works if you work it.
Peace out, everybody. See you next week.
Good night.